You should have a paper that says small hand rule examples. I pretty well covered that, but study those when you get a chance. They're pretty straightforward. They allow you to make a good discard in some of them, and some of them don't. You keep the points in some of them. And then we got some big hand rule examples. All of them that I mentioned are on here. Looks like that. All these big hand examples are on there, including that one I mentioned about the 4, 5, 6 with the face guard and 2, 7. It's all here. Now we started with a little discussion in here about kings to the crib. Remember? You got a little paper there that says discarding to own crib, and it looks like this. It shows all the pairs. There's 13 pairs. It shows them all. And if you'll notice, the kings are dead last. Wouldn't you have guessed it? The kings have the lowest average of any two that you can put in your crib. If you look at all 13 pairs, the kings are dead last. 5s are first, 3s are second, 7s, deuces, 6s, so on down. Kings are dead last. Now, if you look at, on the bottom of that, I've got what these pairs look like when they go to your opponent's crib. There's a big difference. Take a look at where 8-8 is on the opponent's side and where it is on yours. Huge difference. And I've put them out here on the chart too. You see, to your opponent, the strongest pair is 5-5. To your own crib, the strongest pair is 5-5. To yourself, the second strongest pair is 3-3. To your opponent, what happened to the 3-3? Look at all these middle cards. Why?
Middle cards in the crib.
Yes, sir. Remember what the dealer puts in the crib?
6, 7, 8.
Most frequent is a 7-8. 3 of the others are 2 middle cards. So with these middle pairs to your opponent are all up there. 8-8, 7-7, 9-9, 6-6. And that pair of 3s, which is so strong to your own crib, well, it's strong relative to other pairs, is way down here. Wow. So now the 7-7 is the same, you see, with these key connectors. 5, 5, 3, 3, 7, 7. Now when you start looking at the face guard pairs, then you see they're very similar, whether they're in your crib or your opponent's. Jack, Jack is almost right across there. Queens and kings are just reversed. 10s are next to last in your own. And 10s are way up here. Why? 10s are way up there in the opponent. If the opponent throws 10-10, that's what your 10-10 is worth over there. It's clear up here, and in yours, the 10-10 is down here.
They throw an
8-9, exactly. 8-9. Think how many times you put an 8-9 in your crib. It's one of those frequent 2 middle cards that goes to your crib. Because if you haven't got the 7, you haven't got the 10, it's just hanging there.
And Jack Queen.
And they fit together, so they're in the crib.
8-9 Jack Queen.
So big 10-10 is not a good pair in your own crib, but it's a pretty strong pair in the opponent's crib. So but it's interesting to see the difference here on these middle cards, and of course that points out some of the real dangers when you put a middle card pair to the opponent's crib. It has a lot better chance of working than it does in your own. So don't fall asleep because you put a pair of 8s in your own crib and you got 2. The last 4 times you put it, you got 2. So it can't be all that bad. Throw them over there. And they got 2 also with a 0 following it. Okay. Any other questions? There is a paper I would like you to review, because it has most of the things we've talked about here. Looks like that, 2-9. Review it, make some notes on it. If you run into anything, any revelations, any questions, bring it to class next week. This is an interesting paper here. Somebody asked me once, I don't know if I got that on here or not. No, somebody asked me once, is a pair better to put to your crib or 2 cards in sequence? And that's what this paper here does. It shows you where the pairs are better and where the cards of sequence are better. For instance, you'd probably figure this one out. Is a 3-3 to your crib better than a 2-3? No. So cards of sequence in that case, cards of sequence in that case are better. And the 2-3 are guaranteed 2 also. And if you think of the 7-7, 7-8, cards of sequence would be better. 6-6, a 5-6 is better than a 6-6, but a 6-7 is not. Four, 4-5 is preferable, but a 3-4 is not. By the way, a 3-4 and a 6-7, what we're talking about are basically the same average. If you find them in the chart, you'll find that they're right next to X. Why would that be? Why would a 3-4 and a 6-7 be just almost identical to your own crib? Yeah, you said nobody wants to give you a damn 5, right? Yeah, they might give you a 2, but little chance for a 5. So the 6-7 and the 3-4 are dead on one end, unless you manage to turn it up on the deck. And so they happen to be down the list quite a ways, even though they look pretty good. They're down the list quite a ways because they're dead on the one end. People will keep the 5 with the 7, 8, 9. I mean, the 5 isn't worth nothing in that hand, but your opponent is not likely to give you the 5, even if it means keeping it with cards that don't work with it. Okay.